Hello and welcome to Big Orbit's Cardfight Vanguard weekly update. My name is James and I will be going through the new cards shown throughout the past 7 days. The last of the triple R's for the new technical booster has finally been revealed. This one is for Murakumo, Covert Demonic Dragon, Aragoto Spark. He's a grade 3 and works great on his own or as a backup. He has a Shadow Stitch ability on the Vanguard Circle with the Generation Breaker 2, where if he fails to hit the Vanguard, you can choose up to 3 of your rear guards, clone them to separate rear guard circle and shuffle your deck. And at the end of the turn you can put these units back into your hand. So you get to potentially draw 3 cards. This skill is great as you don't have to pay anything for it as well. Also, while this card is on the Vanguard Circle or Rear Guard Circle, and your drive check reveals a card with the same name as a card on your Vanguard Circle or Rear Guard Circle, you may put the drive checked unit at the bottom of your deck and choose one of your other units that gets plus 4,000 power, and you also get to draw a card, so it makes up for putting it away. This helps with the old problem of not being able to clone your units because all your other copies are in your hand, and with Shibaraku Buster you could start giving out a lot of power with the 5 drive checks. Another grade 3 for Murakumo is Sword Hunting Stealth Rogue Oniwaka. This one is a single R, and with Shadow Stitch, Generation Break 1 and Counterblast 1, when this attack doesn't hit a Vanguard, you can choose up to 2 of your other units, and those units get plus 3,000 power until the end of turn. Also, when he is placed on Vanguard Circle, you can Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1 to look at the top 5 cards, search for one card with Shadow Stitch ability, and put it to your hand. If Aragoto Spark is good enough to be an ace of a deck, then I think this would be a great backup for him, especially if you're going for a heavily Shadow Stitch deck. A-Class Mutant Gura Giraffa is a grade 2 unit for Mega Colony. He has an act on the Rear Guard Circle once per turn with a Counterblast 1. If you have a Giraffa Vanguard, rest it to one of your opponent's rear guards, and this unit gets plus 2,000 until the end of turn. Then as an act from the hand, to discard him if you have a Vanguard with Lava Mutant Giraffa, you can search your deck for Pupa Mutant Giraffa and ride it as stand. This gives you a much better chance of completing the ride chain. Giraffa may only receive 2 cards in this deck, but both cards are really good and they're also really easy to get a hold of, as one is single art and one is common. Hypnosis Mutant Hypno Moth is another grade 2, this one with only 8,000 power, but on the Rear Guard Circle she has a Dark Device skill where she gets plus 1,000 power for all your other Dark Device units. The good thing about this unit, it keeps its power even on your opponent's turn. I think we'll need a few more Dark Device units for this to be really strong though, but it has potential. Scarlet Venom is a grade 1 with Dark Device skill where he gains plus 2,000 for each of your opponent's rear guards in the same column as this unit until the end of turn when he's placed on Rear Guard Circle. Machining get a little more support with Machining Cricket. He's a grade 1 with the act ability to rest himself if you have a Machining Vanguard to paralyze both one of your opponent's units and this unit. He's useful in some situations, and at least Little Bee and Firefly can let you use this guy a couple of times a turn. Ingot Schaefer is a new draw trigger for Mega Colony and has the ability to go into the soul to give another Mega Colony unit plus 3,000 power. This is nice for Dark Face's soul, but with draw triggers in a Dark Face deck, you may end up decking out. To help with this problem, we have the stand trigger Make-Up Widow. She has a Generation Break 1 Dark Device skill on the rear guard, so that activates on the end of each turn, which gives you the option to put Make-Up Widow into the soul, to countercharge 1 and paralyze one of your opponent's grade 1 or grade 0 units. This helps out Darkface a lot, as well as messing with your opponent's back row. Ink Panda is a new common grade 3 for Great Nature. He has Success 20,000, and on Rear Guard Circle with a once per turn, when this unit attacks, if it is successful, draw a card and retire this unit. It's a bit unfortunate that it is only once per turn, but it's a nice rear guard skill. Then Archaeologist Student Kunegi is a grade 2 with Success 20,000, and if this unit is successful, he gains plus 4,000 power. Field Glass Otter is another grade 2 with Success 20,000. It also has the Generation Break 1 auto ability where when this unit is placed on Rear Guard Circle, choose up to one of your other rear guards, gains 4,000 power, and then at the end of turn, retire that unit. This unit also has the ability where, if it is successful, you may return this unit to your hand at the end of your turn, and this will help you avoid retiring this unit. We also get an 8k grade 2 for Great Nature, With success 20,000, if you are at Generation Break 1, you may counterblast 1 when this unit becomes successful to stand it, and at the end of the turn retire this unit. And as an act with Generation Break 1, you can counterblast 1, this unit will gain boost until the end of the turn. He uses up a lot of counterblasts, but potentially could be an amazing unit, especially with the new Big Belly stride. Chalk Azir Fennec is a grade 1 with success 20,000 and a continuous ability where if he's successful, this unit can Soul Blast 1 during your end phase when this unit would go to the drop zone to draw a card. And lastly, for Great Nature, we have a Stunt Rigger, Watering Elephant. She has success 20,000 and an auto where Generation Break 1 and an auto with Generation Break 1 during your end phase when one of your other units would be put into the drop zone. If this unit is successful, you may put Watering Elephant into your soul to call that retired unit back to rearguard circle. For the upcoming GBTO 8, we have Arborist's Royal Guard, Irie. As an act on rearguard circle once per turn with the counterblast 1. If you have a grade 3 Vanguard with Arborist in its name, this unit gains plus 2000 power and you can choose one of your rearguards until the end of the turn. That unit gains the same name as this unit. This will allow you to give the non-Arborist unit plus 5000 power through the Arborist stride. And she also has the auto ability where if this unit's attack hits a Vanguard, you may put a card from your drop zone to the bottom of your deck, and if you do, search the top 5 cards for an Arborist card and put it into your hand. 3 ghosties have been announced, Carl, Bale and Cody. Carl is an 8k grade 2, which allows you to counterblast 1 to bring him to rearguard circle if you would be put in the drop zone. Great for blind mill decks. Bale is a grade 1 with his first skill giving him plus 2000 power when he is placed on rearguard circle from the drop zone if you are on Generation Break 1. And as an auto during each battle phase, when this unit be put into the drop zone from rearguard circle, if you have a Night Rose Vanguard, you may put this unit from your drop zone to the bottom of your deck and then you can countercharge 1. And lastly, Cody is a crit trigger that has a skill in the drop zone where when one of your non-ghosties is put into the drop zone from rearguard circle, you may counterblast 1 to call this unit to rearguard circle. It looks like these ghosties are going to kind of work with Night Rose, especially Bale, who has Night Rose in his skill ability. So with all this counterblasting, it looks like that Grand Blue is going for much heavier counterblast, but also they have Grenache already, and Bale is showing that we're also going to get him as a countercharger too, so maybe that's the whole gist of Night Rose. She's going to be more of a ghosty deck. Overeat Deleter Onagil is a grade 1. When he comes onto the field, if you have a Deleter Vanguard, you may play the ability, each player draws a card and discards 1. And as an act, you can put this unit into your soul. If you have a Deleter Vanguard, your opponent vanish deletes one of their cards in the drop zone. Because of the first skill, it basically fuels itself. And finally for GBTO8, we have a Jewel Knight, Stilling Jewel Knight Estelle. She is a Sentinel, and when she's placed on Guardian Circle, if you have a Jewel Knight Vanguard, call the same number of units from the top of your deck as other Jewel Knight units you have on the field to Guardian Circle. It's a cheaper version of a Quintet Wall, but Iseult is probably still a better option, her being the perfect guard. And the final bit of information, we are getting a new Token Rambo set, as well as a Token Rambo trial deck. Take that how you will, some people love Token Rambo, some people don't like it as much. But we already have one card revealed and it's pretty interesting. Tsurumaru Kuninaga Toku is a stride, and as an act, you can Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1 and G Persona Blast to call a grade 3 and grade 2 from your drop zone to rearguard circle. And if you are on Generation Break 3, at the end of your turn, choose one of the called units and put it to your hand. This is a very strong ability and feels like a mix between Grand Blue and Bermuda Triangle. If you always put the grade 3 back, then you can always ensure a stride next turn, which is great. And that is all for this week. Feel free to leave a comment on what you think of the new cards. Be sure to check out next week's video where I'll be going through the cards shown throughout the past 7 days then. And if you have any questions about the cards, the ruling or anything, just leave it down below and I'll try and answer it as best as I can. I hope to see you next week. Bye!